Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike. Thank you for spending a moment of your day with me, and thanks to our sponsors today, which is UGears. UGears is a 3D craft model company that is a Ukrainian-based company on the outskirts of Kyiv with their own production facilities that make these amazing 3D models, like these that I'm about to show you now. These two you'll see are from the Harry Potter universe. Check out what this guy looks like put together. These things take hours to assemble and turn out looking like this here absolutely gorgeous Hogwarts Express train model kit from Harry Potter. I'm telling you guys, you will not believe the insane amount of details on these things. Just look at this. There's even little people in this train. It's adorable. I'm actually shocked this thing doesn't have a bathroom with running water. It's so intricate, it feels like you're messing around with a merchant box or something, only at the end, Pinhead's not going to come up and eat your soul. UGears also makes a great gift with Christmas coming up for the kid in your family, or a hobbyist in your family, or someone at your job that you need to get a gift for, and they even do personal engraving. The best part about these, though, I'm not going to lie, it's the smell. These things smell like rich mahogany on a Sunday morning at Barnes & Noble. It's fantastic. Cedarwood delights. It's like Legos for fancy people. This one here takes 7 hours to put together. Your mom's all like, hey, quit playing with your Legos again, Dan. You're like, haha, joke's on you, Mom. I'm not playing with my Legos. I'm building wooden art. Basically, I'm learning how to be an architect right now. I mean, look at this thing. Now go get me a soda. Guys, check out UGears in the link down below, not just for these two models, but for a whole catalog of mechanical models that'll blow your friggin' minds. I know that we just did a Friday the 13th update yesterday, and I don't like putting the updates on back-to-back days, but here's the thing, all the questions we had yesterday got answered last night in a Fangoria interview with Brian Fuller, the showrunner of the new Friday the 13th. But this was an excellent interview. They asked all the right questions and got all the right answers that we wanted out of it. Brian Fuller, by the way, who did the show Hannibal. And just to catch you guys up, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, they announced a Crystal Lake series coming to Peacock that was going to be produced by A24 that he called at the time an expanded prequel. Now, a lot of people were freaking out about this, saying, what the hell, like, so Jason's not going to be in it because they don't have the rights to it because it's Victor Miller who's doing this, so they don't have the rights. That means they can't use adult Jason. That's why they're doing a prequel, no hockey mask, no nothing. Then it came out that no. One of the dudes involved is from Horror Inc., which is the company they were fighting with, Sean Cunningham's company that owns Adult Jason and Hockey Mask Jason and all this. So they're actually working together so they can have everything. We can have it all. But at the same time, everybody's like, yeah, but they said prequel. So it's going to focus on Pamela and all that stuff like that. And today we have answers. So let's get right into it. The first thing they asked them, for starters, what characters and locations and whatnot are you allowed to use from Friday the 13th franchise? That he said everything. We can use everything. We can go to hell. We can go to space. That's not to say we will do those things, although if we do go 10 seasons, I will be lobbying hard to go to space. Laughs. And he goes on to explain how it is that they have the rights to everything, but also he mentioned something interesting about the movies. I think some of us hope that, okay, they're going to let them do this, and maybe they're going to let Sean Cunningham go and make movies. So we get the best of both worlds. We get a expanded prequel on TV, then we get the movies, maybe the continuation even of the movies on the big screen. That took a little hit in this article because he said, as a streaming series, we have the rights to do everything underneath the Friday the 13th umbrella. The movie rights are a completely different thing. They are tied up at New Line and are super, super messy and probably won't be entangled anytime soon. But as far as us chickens in the television industry roost, we have access to anything and everything that Friday the 13th has done up to this point. So that answers that. That puts that baby to bed. They have access to everything, but the movies are going to be harder than we thought to come by. That being said, if this show's a huge success, I guarantee they'll figure out the ways to untangle that shit because everyone wants to stuff their pockets with big, greasy money. Is money greasy? The best answer to this entire thing coming up right now. Yesterday, everybody was upset. Even when we knew that they had the rights to everything, I was like, yeah, but it's a fucking prequel. And I kept saying, expanded prequel. That means something to me. To me, expanded prequel means we're expanding on the prequel, meaning we can come to the present and go into the future. I think we talked about it a little bit in yesterday's video, but a lot of complaints about that. There's not going to be a Jason because they said it's going to be a prequel. No says I. Ninja Star, Canna Backer. He says right here, this has been pitched as a prequel series, so how far back in the timeline will we be when Crystal Lake begins? I don't think I'm allowed to say that just yet, but I would say it's less a prequel series than a pre-remake Yule series. And they asked, what the fuck you talking about, dude? And he said, for now, I can't go on the record and tell you that. But it's pretty obvious to me, pre-remake Yule. We're going to add to the lore of Jason before Jason. And then we're going to redo Jason. Yule means we're going to take Jason further. In my mind, what they're thinking is we're going to add a little bit to the beginning. We're going to reformulate the origin story. And then we're going to take it into the future, which means they could take... This is kind of what I wanted for a Halloween series if they were going to do one. Take from the best of all the movies and kind of retell those stories as you weave your way through the timeline. You can add all the new stuff you want, but you can also throw some of the coolest stuff. Like, imagine if... Obviously, we don't want to go Jason Goes to Hell route, right? But what if they threw the character of Duke in there? Because he was awesome and gave him a role. Things like that. Take the best, leave the worst behind. That's what remakes and stuff are supposed to be for. And with TV, you can just dabble around in that. Just a little sprinkle to Fucktown. And they ask him straight up here, are we going to get Jason? He says, they said, by denoting it even in part as a prequel would tend to indicate the series will revolve more around Pamela than Jason. Will Jason be in it? He says, I wouldn't count Jason out. Now, he said several times throughout this article, I can't say anything specific. So, I mean, that might as well just be him being like, yeah, man, fucking duh, Jason. I'm sure we would all like a, yes, of course, it's all about Jason. But... they're being coy with it a little bit, but we're getting fucking Jason, guys. Come on. They said, okay, but you could be dancing around this. Could be that Jason is in it, but he's a kid rather than the mass killer everyone's imagining. This is almost like the fans are getting to ask this question. This is why I'm saying this article was so well done, this interview. He says, I think over the course of this series, you will see many familiar manifestations of Jason. So there's your absolute confirmation Jason's in it. But not only is he saying that, I think he's saying, you're going to get kid Jason, you're going to get baby Jason, baby Jason. I just hope that's the jingle for the song. It calls it Baby Jason. But you're going to get kid Jason. You're going to get baby Jason. You're going to get adult Jason that we know and love. You're probably going to get hockey mask Jason. Probably going to get baghead Jason. And if he goes 10 seasons, we're going to get fucking Uber Jason. I think we're going to take the best of all the Jasons and put him in this show. But I tweeted about this yesterday. It was like, they come at, we're like, give us Jason, give us Jason, give us Jason, courts, the battles, all that shit. They come out like, we're giving you Jason. And we're like, yeah, but is it fucking the Jason I want exactly at this exact time? Why is it on TV? What the fuck, Greg? You know, it seems like there was so much negativity coming out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't be like, you can't have standards or desires for what you want to see with it. But just little stuff like, I mean, but we didn't even know anything yet. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be fucking trash. It's A24. It's going to be woke fucking garbage. It's going to be elevated fucking horror bullshit. It's going to be prequel. It's all going to be about Pamela. And, like, nobody even gave it a chance. Not nobody, but a lot of people didn't even give it a chance to find out the details before it was just, like, right back to, like, the Halloween trilogy complaining and shit like that. And it's like, just pump the brakes, man. Pump the brakes. Let's just take a minute to be like, Jason's back. Yay. Or Friday the 13th is back. Yay. Probably Jason. Yeah, it just sucks to see. It sucks these days just to see such natural, negative, immediate negative complaining about everything these days. It seems like we don't enjoy anything anymore. We can't just enjoy it at face value and be like, hey, it may not be perfect, but can't wait to find out. It's always like, it's not going to be fucking perfect, so it's a piece of shit. I don't even want to have Christmas this year. They say, how murderous is Crystal Lake going to be? I'm sure you're not aiming for a particular per season kill count, but a certain amount of slashing must be on your mind. He says, it will be pretty murderous. I think we'll be dropping bodies every episode, and I think there's something about the build of that as we are hopefully in for the long haul. I wasn't kidding. If we get 10 seasons, I'm going to make a concerted effort to find a way to rationally and dramatically and in some fashion go to space. I can't imagine it going 10 seasons, but I will put out there that, well, I haven't got past laying out the first 3 seasons, so I suppose it's very easy for me to say, yeah, if we get to 10 seasons, we're going to space. Wait and see. So there you have it. There's going to be lots of death scenes. We're going to get Jason. He's already 3 seasons deep. In my mind, and this would be kind of a long slog, but the first whole season could be a prequel. The second season could be a catching up, and the third season could be full on Jason as Jason, hockey masked out, going crazy, and that's where we start tying the sequels in. I don't know. Personally, I'd like to get to Jason a little faster, but I don't know what it's going to look like when we start to go in that prequel. The characters and things like that could be extremely interesting, and the anticipation of knowing we're getting Jason could be awesome. But yeah, I'm just like you guys. Maybe they do this thing where they flash back and forth. Maybe in the very first episode, you get a taste of the prequel, remake, and sequel, just by like flashing back and forth, kind of like in a Lost sort of vibe. Who the fuck knows, man? But isn't it nice to have Jason? Isn't it nice to be fucking excited that we don't even have to worry about the right situation? They have access to fucking everything. You've got people who care about it, who want to take it seriously, who want to do it right. And I know people like it on the big screen, but honest to God, you're getting 10 hours of Jason. And basically he says in here, well, let's go here real quick before I do that. They also ask him, everything you've done for television to this point has had a bold look. I mean, consider the Hannibal for starters. Consider Hannibal for starters. Can we expect Crystal Lake to have a similarly distinctive look? And he says yes. One of the things that is super exciting, and one of the many reasons we went with Peacock, is that they blew every other they blew every competitor. Sometimes it's Hollywood. You got to do what you got to do. He says they blew every other competitor out of the water. There was a bidding war on this, and they came in strong and gave us a full season commitment with a huge penalty if we don't do a second season. So it's kind of a 2-season commitment, but really just the first season commitment. We're going to have roughly 5 times the per episode budget we had on Hannibal. So they've got good people behind them. They have a fuck ton of money to do it the way they want it, and they're basically promised 2 seasons. Unless the first season is a flaming hot dog piece of shit, we're probably getting a second season too. So it's people that believe in it. They're throwing the money at it, and you know, I'm not hearing anything bad. You know, and again, like I know there are people that's going back to what we were saying before. They're upset, like, yeah, but it's a TV show. I want fucking movies. I mean, come on, man. We're splitting hairs at this point, right? We're getting 10 hours of Jason for sure, probably 20 hours of Jason for sure, versus a 2-hour Jason. Maybe if it sucks, you don't even get a sequel after that for another 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like this is. I like movies better than TV shows too, right? But man, with all the things you could do with this franchise, and if you get a movie, you gotta throw everything into that 2 hours and make it fit. With a TV show, they can really expand and go fun places. And back in the day, I'd say, oh fuck no, this is a death nail. You can't go to TV. Can't go to TV because then the series is going to be looked at as fucked and they'll never put it back on the big screen again. That is not the world we live in today, man. TV has more money behind it sometimes than movies do. TV is way different than it was looked at back in the day when that used to happen. TV is a fucking huge deal. Now look at Yellowstone and shit like that. It's high quality. It's just the same quality as movies for the most part. So I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be okay. It's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight. And then finally, he does say it's going to be a little bit different than your typical Friday the 13th movie. But we already know that there's going to be a bunch of kills and shit like that. But if there's one thing I think people may be concerned about when it comes to, you know, we just went through this with David Gordon Green. And I liked Halloween Ends personally, but we just went through this where you told us you were going to give us a Halloween movie and then you went and did your own thing with it and upset people. This is where I think people may get upset as well. He says, he was talking about the producer, Susan Rovner, and he says, her excitement about this, combined with the understanding the different emotional pressure points that I have as an audience member who worked with special needs kids. And, well, I think it will all work in concert to spin this version of Friday the 13th on its axis a bit. It will absolutely be recognizable for the hardcore Friday the 13th fans, but it will also have an appeal to people who are simply interested in top shelf TV storytelling. Now, me personally, I don't get all hopped up on that, but I mean, it's just kind of a warning, just to let you know, hey, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, it's not just going to be Jason stomping through the woods, taking people down. How you doing? Keep it moving, as the Pat McAfee show would say. But they're going to add stuff to it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not like the show's trying to make some crazy political statement, or it's not like it's taking people and, like, you know, making them choose a side or anything like that. I think all he's saying is, we're going to focus on the special needs situation a little bit and have something to say about that. And I don't see how you could have a problem with that. That makes perfect sense, especially given this franchise. And what we have to deal with here. I think that's pretty fucking rad, to be honest with you. Just my opinion. But hey, all I'm trying to say is this is great news. Lots of fucking death. Lots of fucking money. Lots of fucking episodes. Definitely getting Jason. I mean, it's all fucking great. It's all great. 3 cheers to Fangoria. And by the way, I'm not just saying this because, but I just had my first article published for Fangoria. It's all about who went through more shit, Sidney Prescott or Laurie Strode. And I'll put the link down below to that. If you guys could check that out, it'd mean the world to me. I'm super proud and happy to have written something, anything for Fangoria as a fucking geek like me. That's like the super coolest thing ever. So, yeah, I'll put that article down below as well. And thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for giving a shit what we have to say about movies. And we'll see you guys tonight on the live stream, 8 p.m. We can talk about all this shit together. Love y'all's fucking faces. Have a great day. And don't forget to check out U-Gears in the link below. Halloween never ends, suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box, or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not. Yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS.